Long before antibiotics, before germ theory, before a single vaccine existed, ancient people were already beating the flu. Not by accident. By method. They read fever and fatigue as signals, not mysteries. And they built a system around them: healing herbs, disciplined rest, deliberate diet, and rituals that kept communities calm and connected while people recovered. Here's the thesis: ancient flu treatment wasn't primitive guesswork, it was early holistic medicine. And a surprising amount of it still holds up today. Ancient healers didn't have microscopes, but they had patient observation, repeated across generations. In Egypt, physicians kept written records of respiratory illness. In China, healers tracked the link between cold exposure and sickness. In Greece, Hippocrates argued disease had natural causes tied to environment and lifestyle, not just divine punishment. Across cultures, the pattern was the same: cold weather tracked with coughs and congestion. Fever, chills, fatigue, and body aches got grouped together and named. And once you can name a set of symptoms, you can start testing what helps. This is where the record holds up best. Ginger and garlic contain compounds with real antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Garlic's allicin is still studied for immune support today. Honey soothed sore throats, and it's still recommended for cough relief. Some studies suggest it works at least as well as over-the-counter suppressants. Onions were used to reduce inflammation, and mint and eucalyptus cut through congestion. Both contain menthol-like compounds still found in modern chest routes. These weren't invented once and frozen. They were living recipes, tested and passed down through generations of trial and error. Steam inhalation, breathing vapor from hot water, often infused with herbs, loosened mucus and eased congested airways. It's the same principle behind a modern humidifier or a hot shower when you're stuffed up. Warm poultices applied to the chest help loosen congestion and ease pain. None of this happened in isolation from daily life. Diets built around fruits, vegetables, and lean protein supported the immune system before illness even struck. Fermented foods supported gut health in ways we're only now linking to immunity. Physical activity was simply built into farming, hunting, and gathering. And once someone got sick, the response was consistent everywhere: broths, soups, and plenty of fluids, almost word for word what a doctor tells a flu patient today. Sleep followed the rhythm of the sun, keeping the body's internal clock, and its immune regulation, remarkably consistent. When illness hit, the response wasn't to push through it. It was to rest deliberately and let the body recover. And recovery wasn't a solo project. Shamans and spiritual leaders led rituals: chanting, dance, prayer. People wore charms believed to offer protection. Communities marked both the onset of illness and the return to health together. Whatever you believe about the metaphysics, the effect was measurable: less isolation, more shared agency, and a sick person who stayed connected to their community instead of cut off from it. Modern medicine is only recently catching up to how much that matters. Isolation and stress suppress immune function, connection supports it. Not everything worked. Some remedies were harmless but useless. Some explanations for illness, angry spirits, divine punishment, were flatly wrong about causation, even if the coping rituals built around them had real value. But the framework holds up: observe symptoms closely, use what nature provides, rest deliberately, eat and hydrate well, and don't isolate the sick. Strip away the mysticism, and that's essentially modern preventive medicine, arrived at thousands of years early. Ancient people didn't have virology. But they had pattern recognition, plant knowledge, and social structure, and together, that was enough to get most people through flu season after season. That's not primitive. That's a working system, built centuries before we had the language to explain why it worked.